Hey, Dustin, they ask, can I buy a house with no money out of my pocket? The short answer is yes, you can. The longer answer is, but not all qualify. However, there are plenty of no to low down payment options available to home buyers, and this is nothing new. Some of these loan programs have been around for longer than I've been alive. I'm Dustin Owen, and you're tuned in to The Home Stretch. As the creator and host of the mortgage industry's #1 podcast, the Loan Officer Podcast, I have spent the past 5 years educating tens of thousands of consumers just like you on the do's and don'ts of home ownership and the do's and don'ts of mortgage finance. As a loan originator myself, I have helped thousands of home buyers just like you achieve the dream of home ownership by coming up with the right financing solution. And what you need to know is that you don't need 20% down to purchase a home. What you need to know is you don't have to have perfect credit to purchase a home. In fact, there are multiple ways for you to purchase a home with no money down. In fact, I'm going to run a clip from episode 448 of the Loan Officer Podcast where I dedicated an entire episode to buying a home. And in this clip, I talk about 2 loan programs that are the most widely used and accepted for no money down. Let's run the clip, and then I'll circle back to tell you more.
If you want to put zero money down and purchase a home, and it's going to be your primary home, you can do so. If you're an active duty military or you're a qualified veteran, a VA home loan allows 100% financing. That means 0% down. They allow it to loan amounts well over $1 million. And you are allowed to actually have multiple VA home loans. And that's a myth. People are like, oh, I already used my VA. I'm like, nope, you can use it again. You can use it again. As long as you have eligibility, that is a fantastic loan program that requires no money down. Now, if you're not a veteran and you're not active duty, it doesn't matter who you know. It doesn't matter which of your family members served and whether or not they're decorated or not. You can't use someone else's benefits.
Like Gronk says in those commercials. The USDA commercials.
Shout out to Gronk, right? When was the last time y'all hung out? A couple years ago?
Since he retired.
Since he retired, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So when I'm looking at a VA home loan and someone's like, hey, how do I get me one of those? I'm like, yeah, go serve our country.
Question. So when people like register from the armed services, is that something they're like taught? Like, have you met like people that have served and are veterans that didn't know this? Like,
I think most people who serve, they understand their benefits. GI Bill, right. VA home loan benefits. Like, God forbid, we all know those spouses love themselves some TRICARE, right? That TRICARE insurance, man. If you can get your hands on that, that's the best insurance going. Yeah. It puts Aetna, Blue Shield, Blue Cross, all of it to shame, right? There's a certain extent that they do know. But, yeah, there's always the, well, I'm a veteran. I'm like, yeah, but you have a 480 credit score. But I'm a veteran. I'm like, yeah, but you have no job. Like, you still have to qualify for the home loan. Right. Okay, like that's like a myth. And we've done years ago an entire episode just on VA home loans. And it was actually a guest who is a VA home loan expert. Shout out to Don Hoffman up in Destin, Florida. And this was probably now going on 2 years, but that is a 100% financing option. Okay. USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, they have a home loan. Again, 100% financing. Now, there's some geographic restrictions because they're going to want home buyers to be in rural areas. And there's a whole entire map that you could Google USDA rural housing map, and you could see if a property address was or was not in that particular area. But USDA is a pretty simple, easy to originate, pretty basic 100% financing option.
All right. So you just learned a VA home loan is by far the #1 loan program for no money down. In fact, as an originator, it's my favorite loan. First, well, it's because I love to give back to those that gave so much. Those men and women who are actively serving our military or have previously served and now they are veterans of the armed forces. It's 100% financing. You don't need perfect credit. And you can finance over $1 million without having to pay monthly mortgage insurance. Now, some of the myths, as you saw me cover, you still need to have income. And you still have to be able to prove that you have a history of paying back your debts on time. So just because you're eligible doesn't mean you qualify. But if you are an eligible veteran or you're currently active duty and you want to inquire about purchasing a home, about using your VA benefits, At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how my team and I can connect with you to offer you a free home buying consultation. Now, in that clip, I also talked about a USDA loan. USDA loans are not as popular as they once were, and that's just because there's less rural areas that are currently selling homes that are eligible for a USDA loan. But USDA is a phenomenal zero down needed loan program. Now, some of my favorites, depending on what state you live in, there's a good chance your state housing authority offers some form of down payment assistance. And with the right down payment assistance coupled with some kind of a seller credit, it is pretty easy for a lot of home buyers to slide into home ownership with little to no money out of their pocket. Now, if you want more information about how you can purchase your first house, or you just have some questions, or you need a game plan, please know that we at TLOP, we have a group of dedicated professionals all throughout the country that are approved by us on standby, and they are willing to offer you some of their expertise at no charge to you. And we make it real easy. Here's what you do. Go down in the descriptions, click the link. The link will take you to a questionnaire, fill it out, click submit. And then within hours of you clicking submit, we're going to have one of our TLOP approved housing professionals reach out to you to answer your questions, help you come up with a game plan, and when you're ready, help you achieve the dream of homeownership. But before you click that link, make sure you subscribe to this channel. And if it's not too much, slide over to our parent channel, the Loan Officer Podcast. Subscribe to that too, because on that channel, it is more than just content for mortgage professionals. It's content for the clients they serve.